let's end this one last story. Dave Ramsey, good friend of Gossip Finance, loves us to death. We know. We know. Unfortunately, Dave's being sued for $150 million.
Wow. Okay, so how'd that come about?
Well, let's see. What does it say? ABC 6. I think they're Tennessee. Come on, ABC 6.
One of the biggest names in the world of personal finance has now been hit with a $150 million lawsuit. Dave Ramsey, a lifelong Tennessean, is accused of giving his listeners some bad advice as they tried to get rid of their timeshares. The plaintiffs say that they were scammed by the Timeshare Exit Team, which was at one time promoted on Ramsey's syndicated talk show. The attorneys involved in the case claim Ramsey was paid more than $30 million for his endorsement.
Uh-oh.
Timeshare Exit Team went out of business last year. We've reached out to Ramsey Solutions for comment and still waiting for a reply.
And they're not gonna.
So I wish I knew more detail about this because I've heard him talk about Timeshare Exit Team.
Yeah. Sorry.
I've heard him talk about Timeshare Exit Team before, and I have to be honest, I completely understand why people want out of those timeshares because they're really their money sucks for sure.
Yes, some of them are really bad. There are some that aren't so bad, but
there's a lot of really bad programs and people really struggle to get out of them, and some of the fees associated with them are not what people realized they were signing up for. So I don't blame them getting out of there. But I wondered what was going on with Timeshare Exit Team. That was fraudulent or what?
Oh, I'll tell you.
What the situation was with them? What was the situation with them? And then how does that trickle over to Ramsey having responsibility? Like, did he know about
So what they did was they charged these people and they said, okay, you pay us, we'll get you out of your timeshare, whatever the fee is, and then if we can't get you out of the timeshare, we'll refund your money. But what they did was some of these people paid them anywhere between $6,000 to $72,000 to get out of these timeshares, and they just delayed, never got them out, never refunded their money. They just sort of strung them along and jerked them off. Now, 17 people filed the lawsuit against Dave Ramsey because that's how they got hooked up with this company, who's now gone. They went bankrupt, but they've changed their name and they've rebranded. And I think they're called Reed Hine now, LLC. And I'm sure they're doing similar shit. But that's what's going on. Now, where is Dave Ramsey culpable? Well, here's the deal. So if you're sitting on air and you're claiming to be a financial expert or a financial guru, even though those aren't real things, typically you don't have any liability if you give bad advice, right? If you're a financial advisor or somebody, and you have fiduciary. If I give advice on this show, which is why we don't ever give advice, we just talk about situations. But if I give advice, then yeah, I have a liability for it. So Dave can sit up there and do that shit all day. Here's where it gets sketchy. And this is where he's in kind of hot water. If he gets on the show as a financial expert and he recommends this company, but he doesn't disclose that he's getting paid millions of dollars by them, he's now committed fraud under the Consumer Protection Act.
So in what manner would he need to be disclosing this?
So he would either need to be doing it as an advertisement, in which case there would be a disclosure usually on the bottom of the screen, right? So it would be a separate advertisement that he's a spokesperson for such and such, right? It need to be clear. Or he could do it as like a radio host does and say, okay, this is a sponsor. Let me tell you about the sponsor.
By calling him a sponsor or by calling himself a spokesperson. So if I identified myself as a spokesperson for blankety blank, or I identify them as a sponsor.
Sure.
But what he tended to say, and anybody here can, correct me in the comments, but from when I heard him, what he would tend to say is our friends over at the timeshare exit
Right.
team.
You need to go to talk to them and
right.
And he'd individually
Right,
recommend it.
say I'm a spokesperson, and he didn't say they're a sponsor. He would just say our friends over at, which doesn't necessarily make you clearly know if that makes him their spokesperson or if he just has relationships with people over there.
No,
you can't tell.
it sounds like he's making a financial recommendation.
It does sound like he's making a financial recommendation, but what I'm saying, I'm more hitting the point of it. The way that he would say that didn't feel clear to me that they are a sponsor.
Right. That's where he got.
That part's vague.
I'm trying to differentiate two things. If I make a go buy blah blah product, right? Or go, to that blah blah firm, and they'll help you out with this. If I'm making that recommendation, and that firm screws them over, I'm liable under financial rules, under FINRA. I can get fined by the Financial Regulation Agency, right? I haven't broken any laws, but I can lose my licenses. I can get in trouble, right? Because that's all handled through these private companies, right? Financial Regulation Agency, which is overseen by the Security Exchange Commission, right? So I can get in a lot of trouble. Now, if because I have licenses, I have those professional ties. Dave doesn't have any licenses or responsibilities in finance. So he can make bullshit recommendations all day, every day, and he does. And we go through them a lot. But where he's hurt is if you're taking money under the Consumer Financial Protection Agency, if you're taking money and you're making recommendations under the guise of a financial planner or expert, you are willfully deceiving the consumer. And now you can be sued. That's what he did. And since he took money from them, and like you said, he never disclosed that he was taking money from them. And he could have just said, they're sponsors. He could have said, I'm a spokesperson for them. He could have put a disclosure on the bottom of the screen. That's all he had to do. A little disclosure down here.
The Timeshare Exit Team is one of the sponsors of today's program.
That's
or
it.
Something, right. Those two words feel key to me.
Mm-hmm.
Self-identifying as a spokesperson or identifying the entity as a sponsor tells me as the consumer that there is some sort of a technical business arrangement that they have.
There's a bias.
Right.
I'm getting paid to say this, as opposed to I'm just saying this because, it's like if I sit there and go, gee, I really love M&Ms. And I'm not getting paid to say that. I'm just a happy customer. I can say that all day.
I use them and they work for me.
Yeah. M&Ms are great.
Snack of choice.
Yeah. I can say that. But if M&M's paying me to say it, I need to specify that. Right. Or we need to do it as a separate commercial, not part of our show. Right. If we do it as part of our show, we got to say, hey, today's show is being sponsored by M&M's. This is how great M&M's are.
Right.
They come in green and red and blue and yellow and orange.
You're making me want some M&M's.
I don't.
If you would like to sponsor some of our shows and send us samples so we can say which our favorite M&Ms are.
Yeah.
Right into us.
M&Ms.
Right there.
Yeah, we'll sponsor M&Ms. You can sponsor us. Sorry. Yeah. Send us some free M&Ms. No. They need to sponsor us. They got all that chocolatey money.
And send us some products.
Send us some products. Absolutely, send us products.
Remind ourselves which version of M&Ms we like the best.
Because I can't remember. Is it the mint ones or the peanut ones? Is it just the plain ones?
Those peanut butter ones.
The peanut butter, the almond ones.
You know what? I am into the peanut butter ones and the almond ones.
The almond ones are really
And I
good.
like the dark chocolate ones because I'm way more into dark chocolate than milk chocolate. Less sweet, more
Yeah.
cocoa. Saying. But
Yeah.
M&Ms, we want new fuel.
Yeah, that was a total tangent there, but yes, M&M's, call us. We're here for you. Anyway, no, but Dave Ramsey, he's screwed on this one. That's why they're not making a comment. He's going to either have to settle out or something, but this is a bad one. So this one,
Gosh, you know what? I'm going to be really honest. I actually kind of hate that that's happening because it was so easily avoidable. And gosh, this is a real screw up in terms of his staff over there, because they should have had him covered in terms of, some sort of disclaimer about this being, a corporate sponsor, or whatever, because it was so easy to avoid.
it's not just that. It's the lawsuit when they fired the woman for being pregnant and they fired the other woman for being gay, right? Which you legally can't do. And then those women sued and they settled out for quite a bit of money. But I think that's they've been, because they're not licensed, because they're not actual financial advisors, because they've never had any training or experience. They're just spewing shit. They're just, most of them are broadcasting. That's what their expertise is in. So they're so used to being able to spew crap without any real consequence and do what they want, especially Ramsey, and just pay people off when he has to, that I just think they've been so careless for so long. This was bound to happen. I'm surprised it didn't happen sooner. Because he does. There was the one where did we look at that? We could probably look at that later. There was he pushes the mortgages with no credit check.
Oh yeah, I think the company is called Churchill or something that he likes, where they do manual underwriting is their process. Right, he talks about it a lot.
Which is extremely expensive and usually a much higher interest rate. But they don't disclose that when he recommends them. And if you go to that bank's website, then you go to the mortgages, the first page that comes up when you do the manual underwriting mortgage is, welcome, Dave Ramsey viewers.
Oh, wow.
But he never discloses that they're paying him. Yeah, he makes a lot of money doing that, but he never discloses it, which is, I think, it's unlawful. It's also careless. But that's how we talk about it every week. People get screwed by Dave Ramsey on a regular basis, and everybody's like, well, no, they're trying to help people. Really? Then why is he getting sued for $150 million for recommending bad shit? Because these people lost a lot of money.
It's sad to me thinking about those people, regardless of the Ramsey involvement level, these people thinking this company is going to get them out of something that's already screwing them, and then they give money to this other company that's just sitting there holding their money, not getting them out of the other situation that's screwing them. So they're actually being financially screwed over 2 times instead of just the one.
Yep. They just got double teamed. Why? Because they listened to and trusted Dave Ramsey, and that's why we make fun of him on almost every episode. Is because this guy is dangerous, and statistically, I don't know that he helps more people than he hurts.
Hard to know.
Well, it's impossible to know because they don't. There's no way to get the numbers.
Right.
But the bottom line is, we do know that people actively get hurt by listening to him. So it is what it is. It is what it is. Anyway.